have a power. But every night I make a new best friend. And the only problem is we like having a good time.
Hello, hello, hello. It's Thursday night, a little bit earlier than normal for us, but it's Thursday night. And you know what that means. It's another edition, the final edition in 2021 of Between Two Beards. Pluggo, as you can see, we got a little bit, we're ringing in the new year, trying to be a little,
So
you
true
got to dress up sometimes,
True award show fashion, JPJ. Who are you wearing?
Oh, this is I don't know, any Versace. That's who that is. That's one of them, right?
Sure.
Yeah. And as the boss says, we can't either. So thank you.
Spencer didn't fire us yet. We've tried. Lord knows.
Don't say we. Don't say we. I have been nice. I have been cordial. Don't say we.
The last time I wore this jacket, Spencer got his ass kicked by Josh in our face-off.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah,
all right. Oh, my buddy Tim. How we doing, bud? Good to see you.
Oh, you watch your tongue, Tim.
I know, right? Unbelievable. Astrid is in the chat. Hello, Astrid. Thanks for hopping in. Big Ben, good to see you, my friend. Very good to see you. Thanks for hopping in. I appreciate it. But like Pluggo just said, tonight is a special night here at Between Two Beards. We are going to ring in and look back at 2021. New Year's Eve is tomorrow.
Baby.
Oh, yeah. New Year's Eve is tomorrow. New Year's Day, a brand new year, 2 days away. We're going to look at 2021, and we're going to go through the Beardie Awards. If you follow us on Twitter, at B2Beards, you have seen all week. We have put the link up there for all of you to vote. We have 11 awards tonight that we will go through, and we want to say thank you right off the jump. We had over 80 votes come in total.
You guys,
that is amazing. We appreciate all of that so much. You guys make the show run. So, Big Ben, I hope you win 10 of them too, man. I hope you win 10 of them too. We got to get you on here one of these weeks. So,
if there was going to be an award for like an awesome dude, Ben, you win it 10 times over.
There it is. There it is.
There you go.
But no, we got to get Big Ben on here at some point.
We're going to drop the nominees. We're going to drop the awards. We want you to chatter. Tell us if you guys voted. So
actually, Tim just voted by himself apparently. So
he voted 80 times. Man, he must not be getting much work done these days. You got time to vote 80 times, my friend.
Yeah. Jeez,
but no, we appreciate everyone for stopping in. We made it to the end of the year. This is episode we started this baby in April, and it's continued to grow. So without you guys, this is in a lot of ways is our award show, but it's for you guys.
Yeah, 100%. So, but before we get into that, there is a few things of news. One not wrestling related. I wanted us to dabble and chat about, and then one or two small wrestling things, and then we will get into the awards. If you've been following us, you've been a viewer or a listener of the show, you know that Pluggo and I are big football fans. We talk about football. Tim in the chat as well. I feel like he tries to make fun of the Patriots weekly.
He brings up one team
because he tries to get under my nerves. So the first time if I ever do meet him, I'll sock him one. But regardless of that, John Madden died the other day. And for a lot of reasons, being football fans, but also I'm a huge video game fan. The Madden franchise is an important video game franchise of my life. I was literally playing Madden when the news broke. That's how much Madden is still part of my yearly calendar when it comes out and things like that. But obviously I'm a huge football fan. John Madden is one of the most legendary figures in the history of the sport. And when you lose someone of that stature, no matter the sport or no matter, what it is, it's everyone it's not just the football fans, it's the national media and it's things like that. And Madden was this larger than life person. So I just wanted to chat about that. I know were you a Madden kid before you got old?
Oh yeah. I still I remember vividly that was the game I wanted to play was Madden. And then as I got older and had my own money, I always went out and had to go get Madden. I think I played Madden 2004 for PS2 because I had bought a PS2. Like I had my first, I had my first job, saved up my money, bought a PS2. First game I bought, I think I stayed up countless hours playing that game. And I mean, Madden's been around. I've played all 96, probably was when I got into it because, I was young. I'm aging myself a little bit here. But yeah, even if you're not a football fan, you know who John Madden is because he helped create one of the top video game franchises in history. So bigger than the sport football.
Of course he is. Yeah. And what Big Ben just said in the chat, like, yeah, he better be on the cover next year. He should be on the cover next year. It's his own game. I know there's a player on it every year, obviously. But yeah, he should be on the cover next year as like a tribute memorial version of, He
was on the 07
what were you gonna say?
Version.
He was on one of the more recent ones for like the 25th anniversary or something like that. There was a picture of him getting carried off the field when he won the Super Bowl.
Him across the board.
It should be him, 100%, 100%, and he should be back in the game as a coach. Like he should. The next version next year should be about him. So, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that because obviously that's when I was younger. Yes, I was watching football, but football is not an easy game to understand. When you're first watching football, it's not easy to understand everything about it. And I feel like I learned more about the game of football from playing Madden than I did from like I watched the games. I learned as I watched, but like I knew what a cover 2 was from playing Madden and being like, oh God, you know what I mean? Like it was just like I still think that most people that played Madden, there's probably like 14-year-old kids out there that play Madden that have better clock management skills than some of the coaches that coach on the sidelines on Sundays. 100%. And they have better clock management skills.
That's the reason I still
no doubt
play the old ones, man. I don't even mess with the new ones online because I just don't want to get smoked by some 14-year-old.
I can still hang online
my
still.
Sweet spot
but
is like Madden 07. I still rock it for the PS2.
Yeah.
But no, I think, and I read this somewhere after his passing, that he pushed very hard for the playbooks to be realistic for the game because before Madden, it was all simulated like football where it was, I think, like 7-on-7 or maybe 5. It wasn't full football. And he pushed for the 11-on-11. He pushed for real playbooks. I think he even gave them one of his playbooks to put into the game to get started, and now it's evolved into this just it's probably it's not maybe not
like,
a billion.
Like Lawrence says, my Madden clock management is next. Yeah. Hey. I feel like anybody who's played for a significant amount of time, we watch football on Sundays and we're yelling from our Madden IQ. Yeah. We're like, call timeout. You got to call timeout. You got to call timeout. And these coaches, half of them don't. And you're like, hey, Mighty Joe, good to see you, my friend.
Mighty Joe.
Love you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hopping in, man. And people are yelling at home.
Out of him last week.
He did, yeah. Turnbuckle Talk. I was in the chat. I tried to get on the after thing with Bubba Duke, but the real life was killing me that day. But I was in the chat for the whole award show. That was a fun time over on Turnbuckle Talk. But yeah, no, man. The Madden franchise and just him as an announcer, just everything. He was a next level legend of the game of football. You could argue he might be the most influential person in the history of the sport. And for what he did for the sport, you know what I mean? Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame broadcaster, and Hall of Fame video game franchise. You know what I mean?
He helped
Tough
the
acting
little giants pull off that victory.
It's true. And he was a hell of a spokesman, the tough acting, athlete's foot. Get the hell out of here. You don't mess with John Madden, end you. You know what I mean? Those Miller Lite commercials, all sorts of stuff. But yeah, no, I just wanted to talk about him for a second before we transition to the wrestling and the Beardie Awards. John Madden, R.I.P.
We're going to talk about a few odds and ends, the housekeeping, if you will, for the week that was. It was Christmas last week. We did a lot of talking about Christmas. We're heading into the new year. So don't worry. Stick around. The Beardies are coming. And they're coming.
Oh, yeah. They're coming real quick.
Faster than Veer, my friend. Faster than our buddy Veer.
Yeah, he's been coming to a show that he was already on. He was already on the show before, but he's coming. And he's been coming for 2 months.
That's right, baby.
Man, unbelievable. But anyway.
Poor Veer.
Yeah.
He got lost.
So I think
nobody thought to check.
No, I guess not. So the big wrestling news over the last couple of days obviously involves one Tony Storm,
Former Mae Young Classic winner.
yes, and former UK
title
NXT
holder.
UK Women's Champion, former,
Just all
one
around
of the best
badass.
one of the best wrestlers in the world. Tony Storm. And apparently, nothing's been confirmed yet. I'm assuming I'm going to admit the bow tie was my idea, but he's talking about yours. That's a fancy. I mean, you got the polka dots, whatever you're doing. I think I just got a nice slick black.
Honestly, so behind the curtain, before we get into Tony Storm, I literally will be like, "Hey, we should dress fancy. We should do this." And then I was like, JPJ's probably not going to do it, so I came kind of dressed down. And then I pop on pre-show. He's rocking a bow tie, and I was like, "Well, shit, let me go get dappered up." It's an award show.
I got a bow tie over my my Young Bucks t-shirt that I'm wearing. But yes, I wear I know. Oh, my name bar is covered. Well, now it's gone. There you go. I thought my beard would cover it, but we're okay. Yeah, it's true. I don't know.
But Tony Storm. This is one of those things that when it first came out, it sounds like it was her asking to be let go.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it's weird, right? We're in this era where even with releases, as much as they suck or people wanting out, we're happy for them. Because now she's going to get to do what she wants to do. I don't know all the ins and outs of what happened. Only she can tell us what happened, truly led her to that decision. Mm-hmm. But if you just look at her booking, when she got to the main roster, they didn't know what to do with her. They built her up. They gave her all the accolades, the Mae Young Classic, and she beat some names in that Mae Young Classic. And I thought, man, this is the next big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they like everyone else, they go through NXT, we build them up, we get invested, they get on the main roster, and Vince likes to tinker. He's a tinkerer. He likes to mess, and then they don't know what to do with her, and she's out.
Yeah. And Billy asks, he says, why would she want out? She was getting a solid push. I mean, I would argue that the push wasn't that solid. Don't get me wrong. Yes, she was feuding with Charlotte. I get it. She's the champ. But it wasn't just because you get a title match on a SmackDown. I don't think that's really a push. They were throwing friggin' pies at each other. That was the story, was them throwing pies at each other. Tony Storm's going to have a good match. She's going to have a good match with anybody. She's a world-class professional wrestler.
And people, from what I read, like to work with her because she's good in the ring.
Yeah, and Bobby, I agree with you. I like Tony Storm too. She's another one of these and again, this was not confirmed, but from everything that I've seen so far, everyone feels like this was a her decision, not a WWE decision. So I'm not holding this on them at all. But this is another can't miss star that was under the WWE umbrella, and one way or another, they're leaving because they were not satisfied.
And that's a good point by Tim with Bloodline and Arcade. But even that, I think the Arcade Bro thing, I think that Riddle and Orton are just so good that they made it work.
Correct.
Because early on, it was kind of but I think those two figured it out. But even, I mean, I just don't. The number of women that they have released in the last year, you could build. If that roster was, let's say, the Women of Wrestling roster, we'd all be
it would be the best women's it would be the best women's roster in wrestling. It could be. It would be in the argument,
They don't know what to do with anybody outside of the 4 horsewomen in women's
and Bianca. I feel like Bianca has risen to that level.
But even that stuff that she was doing with Doudrop, they're kind of running out of, you know what I mean? It's and then they didn't know what to do with her for early. But either way, if we put her in the mix, her, Asuka, and the horsewomen, so that's 6 women that you're building. And if they're out, Asuka's out with injury, Bayley's out with injury, Becky was just out, Charlotte takes time off all the time. You just haven't gassed up anybody else to make them feel on par with those 6 women, and you should be doing that. Your 7, 8, 9 should be able to step in, and we think it's believable and it's credible. We shouldn't be waiting years on end for a Liv Morgan push or hoping that Tony Storm will get a legitimate run at the title. And then, of course, if I'm her, I'm getting burnt out. Why wouldn't I? I'm pushing. I'm doing everything you're asking me to do, and I'm not breaking through that ceiling for whoever, whether it's her fault or their fault. It gets tough,
Oh, 100%. And apparently, according to the reports, some people are saying like she paid for her own airfare and flew out of there after that house show. And she was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm going home. I'm burnt out. Not feeling this. Yeah, I'm out of here. And wild, man. It's wild. It's a wild story. But again, at the end of the day, how you feel personally, like self-care, you gotta do what's best for you. And if she was getting burnt out or she was just in a negative space and she was like, I gotta change something, I gotta figure something out, and this is the best way to do it, she has the right to do that. And it is what it is. But like you said, there's plenty of places for her to go and be Toni Storm and be the Toni Storm that we know who she is. You know what I mean? Like, and she's a top class professional wrestler. So,
I mean, you just look at, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of these, women later on in the show during the Beardie Awards, but you look at Deonna Purrazzo, for instance, like they didn't know what to do with her, and she's out killing it right now. She's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. Like Chelsea Green, on fire right now in that storyline with Cardona and Effie. Just it doesn't have to be the WWE anymore. Yeah, the money's great, and the paycheck's probably better than anywhere else you're going to be. But if you can still do what you love and live comfortably, like I'm all for it. I support that.
100%.
100%. And you don't need millions and millions and millions of dollars. You still do really well for yourself, I think.
Absolutely.
Unless you really want $1 million, that's fine too. Whatever you want.
And Brit Baker tweeted the picture of Toni Storm shortly after it happened. So when Billy says AEW, Billy Hayes in the chat, it's possible. It's possible.
That'd be sweet.
And yeah, Turnbuckle Talk says Toni Storm equals ratings. Love to see her bring some luster back to Stardom. That would be another good spot for sure. HCW Sports, she made the move that's top level. Congratulations to her, putting her future in her hands. Yeah. And Tim's 100% right. It's not always about the money. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure money matters, as we all know it does, but it's not always about the money. If you're not creatively happy, you're not going to be happy with what you're doing. You're a professional wrestler. You want to be where you believe you should be. And if you know that that the company you work for is pretty much putting in a lackluster effort to make you the star that you believe you want to be, then you're not going to be in a good spot. You got to get the hell out of there and bet on yourself.
And I think somebody they were talking Jeff Hardy. I can't remember. I think it might have been, I'm trying to remember who it was. I would love to give them credit for this, but they were talking about Jeff Hardy and how he should just go to AEW, but AEW's got a bloated roster. And then somebody had mentioned, it might have been our friend Sean Ross Sapp, friend of the show, and on one of his shows. And they said, like, he can go on an appearance basis and still have those big fun matches. Like Toni Storm doesn't have to, she should absolutely sign in AEW if that's what she wants to do, because that would elevate that women's roster. But if she wants to just stop by and have a banger of a match with Britt Baker for a quick feud, like Tony Khan has shown he's willing to do that too. He did it with Cardona. So there's so many options, and nobody has to be tied down. Like Cardona's doing it right now. He said the only contract he wants to sign is the marriage license with Chelsea Green. I think he's loving, and I think a lot of these people that are leaving the WWE system are going, you know what, this is kind of nice. I can go to GCW. I can go to the NWA. I can have my home base and Impact. I can kind of do whatever I want to do and control my own destiny.
100%.
And I think that you'll see that with Toni Storm, unless, like I said, AEW does the smart thing and scoops her up and gives us Toni Storm and Mercedes Martinez, who debuted last night on AEW. I want to see that.
Yeah, that was cool. That was very cool. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. And when it happened, I was like, oh, shit. I was like, great. That's really good. That's cool.
What we've been talking about. We've been talking about AEW needing to sign some of this free agent women's talent. I mean, they did it with Ruby Riott, yes, but a lot of it's been male side. And Mercedes Martinez, that you could do far worse than a 20-year veteran who is as good as she is.
And Spencer's correct when he says everyone leaving WWE fits so damn perfectly elsewhere, and WWE is literally firing their competition's target wrestlers. They fired. Well, they didn't really fire, but he did not resign. Undisputed Era was in the main event of Dynamite this week. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, like you see them walk out together, and Adam Cole, you can read his lips. He goes, "We're back, baby." And I'm just like, man. And If you're Triple H, you're just looking at it going like, dude, like those were money makers for us. Those guys were money makers for us, and now they're just on the other side, trying to like our competition, and it's just like, man, oh man, like it's brutal. It's brutal. All right, day one is this weekend. I don't know if you wanted to talk any day one stuff. We don't have to. Oh, and I 100% agree with you. Triple H has broken every piece of furniture in his home by now. I don't, we talked about it a little bit last week because Kyle O'Reilly had just debuted, which we all kind of knew was happening, but he had just debuted. And it was one of those things where it's like, how disheartened by all of this do you think like Triple H must be? Like truly must be like
after
every one of his guys
millions of dollars or before.
Well, I get that. But like every one of his guys, his company, like his brand that he built was just all taken away from him. And it was taken away from him real quick. It was like a really quick turnaround. Brutal.
He was tasked with almost, I don't want to say impossible. I don't think it was an impossible thing, but he was tasked with the job of like, we need to start building up some new stars. And of course, NXT was before AEW, but so he had already kind of had a leg up in building some of these, the Kevin Owens, the Sami Zayns, the Shinsuke's in the WWE system. But then he's tasked with what turned out to be an impossible task of beating the hot new product out there. And he did everything he could. He threw everything at it. He had compelling stories, compelling characters. I mean, he had some of the best. The Keith Lee, Adam Cole storyline is one of my favorites from that, era. And Vince just pulled the plug on it and took everything that he had built and just piece by piece systematically toward. Like, there's no way you should screw up Karrion Kross. Even if he's not the greatest wrestler in the world per se, but the dude looks the part and should have been a badass on the main roster, and you put him in some weird mask. Keith Lee should have been a no-doubter on the main roster. He's big. He's athletic. He can hang with anybody. And what do? You don't know how to dress him, and then you got him growling and stuff, and then he's gone. Yeah. So if I'm Triple H from strictly a professional standpoint, I'm a little disappointed in my father-in-law for destroying what I built.
Yeah.
But then again, he's like, you know what? 2 million, 3 million. Stephanie McMahon's my wife.
I get it.
Whatever.
Anyway. All right. Did you want to dabble on day one this weekend?
If you
at
want.
All? I mean, we don't have to. We can go right to the Beardies. I just figured it is a pay-per-view. It is this weekend.
Yes, so and Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, excited for that.
I am too. I actually have enjoyed this story and this build. I didn't think, and I know we mentioned it very briefly, but I did not think I would enjoy babyface Brock Lesnar as much as I do. I am loving some babyface Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, dude.
You might be right, Bubba Duke. Vince probably added to the stress. I don't doubt about it. I don't doubt it.
I mean, Brock Lesnar as this he's funny. Like, I'm just
he
gonna
just comes
say
out
it.
and he's got that smile, that goofy smile. He's got the ponytail and just the overalls and.
We saw glimpses of this at the Rumble when he eliminated like the first 15 and he was dancing and having a good time. So we kind of saw
the Money in the Bank Brock a couple of years ago when he had the boom box and he was just like,
he's like, you know what? This whole run, I'm just going to have fun with it. He's like, I'm making $12 million. Why not have a good time? What are they going to do? Fire Brock Lesnar? He'll show up.
I still think Brock in the Bank.
Yep.
They blew that way too early. He should have held that for the majority of like a while, the majority of the year, and just because he's part-time, he's not there all the time, so he can go away. And it's like, okay, Brock's just away. And then when you would hear the music, not only is it like, holy shit, Brock Lesnar's back, but he has the briefcase. So you're like, oh God, like he could just come back and win the title, which he basically does anyway, anytime he comes back, you know?
Just play his music. He didn't have to be there. I think what happened there was it was a great idea because I thought it was funny as hell.
Oh, it was amazing.
But I think that's what it was. It was a super good idea. They're like, let's do it. And then they were like,
that's it.
What do we
they had the plan for the moment. Yeah, they had the plan for the moment, but they didn't have a plan for the run.
That,
you know?
That's what they do there at the old WWE
Unreal.
headquarters. But yeah, no, day one, I think it's a cool concept. I love the idea of a Saturday night pay-per-view.
So do
That makes me happy as a guy.
I love Saturday night pay-per-views. Uh-oh. Is the house burning down?
The wife's looking for something.
Oh, God. She about to yell at you.
No, my son lost the remote to the TV, though, I guess.
Uh-oh. That damn kid. If he ain't ruining our show, he's ruining something else, you know? Unbelievable.
What happened?
Uh-oh.
Oh, that. I don't know what happened. Anyway.
Jeez Louise, God.
Yeah.
Interruptions galore.
You never know who's going to run it.
Can't even get through the end of the year episode.
No.
Without an interruption.
She was giving me this look, and I was like, what did I do?
Unbelievable.
And then the remote for the TV's missing. You know, our son likes to lose things.
Well,
anyway.
It's a conversation she should be having with your damn kid.
I'm with you. Clip that, Alex. I'll send it to her while I'm sleeping on the couch tonight.
Well, at least you can go over these winners of the Beardie Awards.
Yes,
no.
But should we, before we get into the full allure of the award show, should we go unhinged one last time in 2021? And then
I think we should.
After we get back from our buddy Josh unhinged, it's time
for the Beardie Awards.
The Beardies are in the house.
Let's go.
It is nearly 2022. Happy New Year on the last episode of Between Two Beards in 2021. Hope you've had a great year. For the final unhinged of the year, what do I want to talk about? I want to give you a little bit of a unpopular opinion, I We're in summer here in Australia. We're in the southern hemisphere. We're in the southern hemisphere, I should say. I'm pretty sure we're the largest country in the southern hemisphere. I don't know, I'm very stupid. But anyway, I would like to say that winter is better than summer. I don't understand how people can love summer. There is nothing worse than being hot. When I'm hot, I don't do anything. I sit inside under the air conditioning and I do not talk to any human being because I'm so grumpy because I'm so hot all the time. I just don't understand how people like it. I'm not a beach goer. I live like literally 5 minutes from a beach. Have probably been there 6 times in the 20-something years that I've lived in this place. No. Being cold, hoodies, and rugging up with all these blankets and it's the best feeling in the world. Hug your significant other if you have one. But, you know, cuddle with your animals and stuff like that. It's just a good time. Winter, greater than summer. Suck my farts if you don't agree. Or whatever. I don't care what you do. Bye.
I 100% agree with
Yeah.
that. I like winter. Well, I like winter over summer. I like summer though. He has a disdain for summer there. I don't hate summer, but I do prefer winter. You can dress warm. You can't if you're hot. There's only so far you can go.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so that's kind of how I view it.
I like fall. But
fall is my favorite. Yes, I agree with you. Fall is my top dog of the seasons. Autumn for some people, but fall is my favorite as well. But if you're asking me winter or summer, I'm choosing winter.
But I don't like driving in the winter during the lake effect snow over here in the old Midwest, you know?
It's it's autumn, but it's fall. We call it fall down here.
Is that in Canada? Did they not say fall?
Well, I think, no, I think it's just, I think other countries besides the States, they just all call it autumn.
Yeah. And we're
whereas
like,
I think
fall.
down here, because we're American, things need to be quick and simpler. We were like, hey, fall, call it fall.
What's a fall? Your budget, Spencer. That's a fall.
Wow. Phew. Jeez Louise. Anyway, the following year is scheduled for Probably a downfall, maybe. Who knows? We'll figure it
Downfall
out.
of us all.
Hey. All right. It is time.
It is time.
It is time
We've
to
spammed
dive
it
into
up.
the Beardie Awards. Pluggo, one fall, as Spencer said. One fall.
Ball? I love
Yes.
that at indie shows.
Oh, it's one of my
wish-
favorite things.
I
It's one of my
wish they
favorite
would do
things.
that on the higher levels. Like you never hear it in
Yeah,
WWE. But I'd love to hear
I
it more.
agree. I love that's one of my favorite wrestling things is the one fall. I love it. All right. So here's what to do. You have all the nominees. You do on your side, you said?
Do I? Yeah.
Oh my
Sure.
God. You said you did. If you lied to me, this will be the last show we ever do.
I thought you said
So,
you had it. I thought you said you had it. No, I have it. No, I thought you had it. No, wait, I had it. Wait.
Okay.
Well, we got it.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. So Pluggo had the great idea that he didn't want to tell me the winners. So I don't know the winners. So what we're going to do is Pluggo is going to go through the nominees, and then we're going to talk about it. You guys throw in the chat who you think is going to win the awards. Me and Pluggo will say who's the winner for us, and then we will show the graphic that I have not seen of who you guys voted for as the winner,
I don't
and
know
then we'll
why
kind
I
of do
thought
that.
was a good
That's
idea.
how we're going to do it.
I was like,
Um,
oh, JPJ not knowing and reacting in real time is kind of fun.
Yeah, and I'm all on board of it. But now you got to run this part of the show, bro. So
I'm not allowed to touch stuff.
no, you're not touching the buttons, but you gotta pick the awards. You gotta
Alright.
say the nominees. You gotta
know
do
that
all that
which-
stuff.
Since
I'm here
you
for the
don't-
ride, baby.
Since you don't know, which award do you want to go first?
Ooh, first, why don't we go with a big one? I feel like we can start. So we're looking back at 2021. So I think we should start with moment of the year. That way we can talk about the nominees and kind of mention maybe any
Yes. And
honorable mentions and kind of whatever, and we'll see. I think this is also going to be the award with the biggest runaway victory. So I feel like we can just get it out of the way because everyone's going to probably know what's going to win, and then we'll get into the meat of these puppies.
I like HCW say last time we were organized, Asterisk was on. Asterisk,
True.
come back to us. We missed you.
2022, baby.
No,
Let's
in
do
the
it.
comments, let us know what your moment of the year was. Some of these were hard. Some of these were hard to break down. We went 5 nominees. We tried to keep it. Next year, we might have to bump it up because if
We could probably bump it up next year.
if
Go ahead.
wrestling is as good as it was this year, next year, there'll be a ton. There was so many. So the nominees that we came up with were Danielson and Adam Cole debuting it All Out. I mean, that was huge. Big E won the world heavyweight, the WWE Championship. Matt Cardona winning the GCW title was also a nominee. I mean, that was huge. That was like
that was one of the biggest wrestling stories of the summer.
One
That
of
whole
the big-
feud with
yes,
Gage and
they-
all of that.
Gage and Cardona put deathmatch wrestling like on the map in a mainstream way that I don't think we've seen in a long time.
Yep.
Hangman winning the AEW title after the big storyline with Kenny Omega. And of course, the CM Punk returns to professional wrestling after 7 years. I was on that Rampage React show and I gushed the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, we got HCW Sports saying Big E. That actually happened in Boston, Massachusetts. I was supposed to be there, but I could not go because of the shoot job, unfortunately. But I was supposed to be there. I agree. I love Big E. Hangman winning as well. That is probably my number 2. These are all 5 of them are really good moments. The Big E one is so good. Hangman winning is good, but I mean,
there's other ones like Brock Lesnar returning at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
was a
Becky
lot of
Lynch
fun.
returning at
Becky
SummerSlam.
Lynch.
John Cena returning at Money in the Bank was another big moment.
Just
the main event of WrestleMania with Bianca and Sasha being
I
the
was
first
gonna
2
say.
African-American women to main event in that moment where they were emotional in the ring. The match is one of the best matches of the year. We'll get to that later. But that moment of them in the ring getting emotional, like kind of looking across from each other, like that was a very significant moment in the year of wrestling as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But for me, I think we're going to probably agree here. CM Punk is your favorite wrestler of all time. He's in my top 5. I kind of think this was a moment that, as much as people have said, oh, we want it, we don't want it, nobody really thought it was probably ever going to happen.
No.
And it happened. And it was just like, okay.
And they sold out the United Center without actually even mentioning the word CM Punk.
It was never confirmed. It was never confirmed. His name was never mentioned. It was just a hint, just a few small hints, and they sold out an 18,000 seat arena.
Spoiler alert: the winner is. There it is. Moment of the year. CM Punk.
Unbelievable. Look at that beautiful trophy. Look at that beautiful Beardy trophy.
Of the Beardy. Hopefully he gets it in the mail and he pops on for he's not here tonight.
No, he couldn't be, unfortunately.
We'll accept the award on his behalf.
Yep, we shall. That's a no-brainer, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I mean, we had over 80 votes. I don't know if maybe we'll put up the tallies of the votes maybe later on social media or something like that.
I'll just tell you right now, that was.
Oh, you got him right in front of you? Beauty.
57% of the votes went to CM Punk. I mean,
okay, so more than half.
Out of
That's not bad though. I thought it would be a little higher.
It was early on, like it was almost like a landslide, and then, second place was the Danielson and Cole debut.
The double debut.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bubba Duke. Thank you. We were Pluggo. I will give him the credit. I don't. A lot of the majority of the social media stuff is Pluggo. That's where he works his ass off for us. So I don't thank him publicly enough, but I'm lucky that I have him because he grinds his ass off at that social media with those graphics and all the stuff that he does there. So, he designed the award. He got my approval, of course, because there's no way I wasn't gonna have a say in how that beauty looks. But it's a beautiful looking trophy. It's a beautiful looking trophy.
Generally speaking, I don't run a bunch. I don't run stuff. I don't not run stuff by you before I do it most often.
Yeah, just the stuff that pisses Spencer off. You never tell me about. Never tell me about because I'll be like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, you didn't want SRS on last?
No, I didn't. No, that was fine. That was fine. That was part of that.
All right, I won't.
Most of it, the other time Joe must get us fired. I'm like, hey man, can we just relax? Let's relax a bit.
But yeah, hopefully Spencer will give us enough budget in 2022 to make that a physical award.
Oh, that would be something. I would love to mail out physical awards to these wrestlers, and they would have no idea and be like, "What the hell is this?" Dude. And I'd be like, "Well,
you won a Beardy.
You won that shit.
You won a Beardy.
You won it. If you you can throw it away if you want. Just please take a picture of it on a mantle and post it on Twitter. Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
So our first ever Beardy Award went to CM Punk.
Hey, there we go. All right, Pluggo. I think why don't you pick the next award? It's your turn.
Oh. Yeah, that's right.
Of course.
TV and Love Wrestling. Let's go with Booker of the Year.
Ooh.
This was another landslide, folks.
I would bet. I would bet.
The nominees are Tony Khan, AEW. Should I do it like a real award show? Vince McMahon, WWE. I have a feeling he didn't do too well.
Probably not.
Triple H and Shawn Michaels for the work they did in NXT before NXT. It's my tie. It's getting all over the place. Before they were ceremoniously taken over by Bruce Pritchard. Brett Lauderdale of GCW and Court Bauer of MLW. A lot of good stuff. We could have went a lot of different ways. We didn't go NWA. Sorry, Zach, our buddy at Power Out. They just they don't make any damn sense there in the NWA. They've got some good stuff.
They don't make any damn sense over in WWE either. So
no, but if you think it's try watching, try sitting through weekly episodes of NWA Power.
I have started to dabble in the MLW recently. The last 3 weeks I've kept up, and I've been dabbling on the YouTubes. That is a good product over there.
You know who's really good over there?
Our boy Alex Kane.
Our boy.
Friend of the show, one of our first interviews here. I would love to get him back on here now that he's the champ over there.
Yeah,
one of the champs running shit. Yeah. But no, yeah, one of our first guests here, Alex Kane, killing it over there in MLW.
But they have a really good vibe and a really good look to them, and they do. It looks more sports based, like fighting style, which is great. Mm-hmm. And they got Alicia Atut, can't go wrong there.
Friend of Love Wrestling as well. She's fantastic as well at what she does. Interview queen.
I have a feeling you'll see her on Love Wrestling on the 1st of January.
I was going to be plugging that. Give it time, my friend. Give it time.
Teasers.
But I would say, since you said this will probably be a landslide, I would imagine that Tony Khan ran away with things here. That would be my pick. AEW, to me, is the most enjoyable wrestling product that I watch. And I still watch almost everything. I'm not to the point where I've given up on things, but
I voted for Vince because it's so
Yeah.
bad it's good. No, I'm just kidding. Tony Khan has been giving us what we want for the better since AEW started, and he's built up such goodwill and he gives us gives us what we want. He pays off his storylines. No surprise here. Tony Khan is your Beardie Award winner for Booker of the Year, and of course,
What a picture!
I
What a
used the
picture.
picture of him. I had to.
What a picture of the Full Gear card scribbled in his notebook or whatever it was.
At a football game.
Yeah, well, he does own them Jaguars. Wasted a lot of money on Tim Tebow, according to CM Punk. So, did you see that one-liner that Punk did was just fantastic. It was so good.
Who didn't waste a lot of money on
The Patriots brought him in for
Tim
a training camp, but
yeah, everybody's
yeah,
tried.
no,
Jets, I
no.
think Jets had him. Everybody said turn Tebow.
yeah, real
But
good.
yeah, that was a no-brainer. These are some layups.
Yeah, you got you got to get the ones that you kind of know where they're going out of the way. All right. Next award, what do I want to do? How about we do show of the year? How about we do that one?
Which
Can we do that
again,
one?
down to 5. What was your guys' favorite show of the year? Like, comment, let us know.
Oh yeah. He should have said Urban Meyer. I think that might have been too close to home, Lawrence. I think that might have been too soon on that one. They look like,
I'd have done it though.
They had to get rid of Urban Meyer. They had to because it was a train wreck from day one. How do you not okay. Again, I don't want to get off topic, but how do you not get back on the flight with your team? How does that not happen?
How do you
win or loss? You have to. If you got to meet whoever you got to meet and do whatever you got to do, you can fly back after. You're Urban Meyer. You're rich. You can hop on a private jet once you get back to the stadium and go do that. You have to fly back with your team. You can't. Yeah. Come on. You have to. That is ridiculous. Anyway.
Yeah, and they probably don't want to bring that up on air.
No.
They probably want to distance themselves as far away from that as they can.
Oof,
it was a shot. It was a shot I would have took, but it didn't work out. That happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, show of the year. There were so many great shows.
There were. Yeah, tell us what were some of your favorite shows in the chat. Yeah, let us know, and then Pluggo will go through our 5 nominees now, and then tell us of the 5 who you think.
Extreme Rules did not make the list. Sorry.
No?
WWE. It wasn't very extreme this past year.
I don't think there was one match that was extreme. That was just one, I think. But anyway. Yes, what were the nominees for show of the year? Billy, I'm sure that'll be on the nominee list. That is
nominee number 1, All Out.
There it is.
Boom. Billy nailing it. And we had WrestleMania, which we both agreed was a great show for WrestleMania. 2 nights. You had the Banks and Belair moment.
That triple threat.
That triple
Edge
threat.
And Rollins and Cesaro.
Yep. We had Bad Bunny.
Amazing. Bad Bunny was amazing.
And that was about the time that you and I really started revving up the work at Love Wrestling. It was a lot of WrestleMania week for us. So,
yep. I mean, that was when I was definitely the first time that you and I worked together. Was on one of those reacts for WrestleMania week, and then I was like, all right, I felt like we had a good vibe, and I was like, all right, whatever. I don't know this guy, but I'll reach out to him, I guess.
And now he
I'm
tries
stuck
to
with you.
Gets me fired.
I'm stuck with you.
Empower. We put Empower on there because I
100%.
thought that was a fantastic all-women's pay-per-view. That was one of the home runs that the NWA has had.
Yes,
this year. Agree. One of the few. I mean,
and Bobby, you are right. It was a great pay-per-view, and in our opinion, it was one of the best ones of the year. Why it is on this list, my friend.
And controversially, we put Crown Jewel on there, so that's it was a good show. And I know that it's one of those things where we know all the shit around it, but if you just you can make
if you are looking at it just from the strictly like wrestling part of it. You can make an argument that it was WWE's best main roster pay-per-view.
No.
That Hell in a Cell match between Rollins and Edge was unbelievable. The triple threat with the women was unbelievable. No. Brock and Roman was very, very good. It was a solid, strong event. I don't watch it live. I only saw like clips of I watched the whole Hell in a Cell match. I watched the whole triple threat. I watched the whole Roman and Brock. The rest, I just kind of saw clips because I don't personally agree with them going over there. I don't think it's something they should be doing. But at the same time, I have to watch it, see what's going on. And it was a good show. It was a good show.
And we maybe this would be a perfect time then ever. We should have maybe did this at the start of our award show, but we don't watch everything. We watch as much as we can. So no disrespect to like the New Japans of the world and the Stardoms and maybe excuse me, like full blown NXT UK. I don't watch that weekly either. Those things. Mm-hmm. It was tough because we didn't want to put things on the list that we didn't fully
that we couldn't speak to a lot. So like we narrowed down. Yeah, we probably should have prefaced this before we went through the awards, but we do what we do here. That's why we are the flag.
We know there's fantastic matches, and honestly, when a big match happens in another company that I may not watch on a weekly basis, I definitely check it out. But I'm not gonna, like I said, you're not gonna get a full-blown breakdown of New Japan Pro Wrestling from us. It's just there's only so much time today. If you want good New Japan Pro Wrestling breakdowns, check out Warren Hayes after us on his channel. But he does a good job. And the last show that was nominated for the Beardy of pay-per-view or show of the year was Full Gear. So AEW's got 2.
AEW's got 2. WWE's got 2. And we have an NWA for Empower.
2 of their 4. So they only do 4 major shows a year.
Is true.
2 of them made the list. So
that is true. So tell us in the chat who you think of the 5 nominees will win show of the year. I think this one again is probably not that close. I would think. I think for me,
landslide again.
Yeah, for me, All Out is like not just the best pay-per-view of the year. It's one of the best pay-per-views of all time. It was incredible. It was just an incredible.
A lot of all outs coming in.
Yes, and Full Gear also incredible. Hangman, so MJF and Darby rule. Like AEW is just so good. I love it. But All Out was just those debuts. The tag match with Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks, which is one of the best matches of the year. All Out is my pick for what's going to win here.
And Pluggo. The winner of the award is the Beardy for pay-per-view of the year. All Out.
AEW All Out.
I'm going to show off my Christmas present after he takes that slide.
Oh, yeah. All right. We're going to get God. And Ashford is 100% correct with her comment. Empower was good.
Oh, it was absolutely.
It was absolutely incredible. We wanted to make sure we had it represented in the nominations because it was an amazing show.
I think that show holds up because it was just kind of a one-off deal. So go back and watch that. I think that's an evergreen show. But All Out, like you said, CM Punk's return to the ring. We had, Cole and Danielson show up. It just was like they threw everything they could. And that tag match with Lucha
in the
Bros.
Cage, with Lucha Bros and Young Bucks is one of the best matches you'll ever see. Britt Baker and Statlander ruled. It was such a good match. That was just a killer pay-per-view. It had oh my God, it was just so good. It was just so good from top to bottom. Special moments that we'll remember forever.
It was Tony Khan saying, "Here, I'm just going to unload the clip. This is what I've got." In a lot of ways, I think that was what put them, like, when you look back in AEW history, that'll be one of the top moments of like all time. Was that like they cemented their flag? We're here to stay. Because getting Adam Cole is one thing, but getting Brian Danielson to come over, and CM Punk is wrestling on that show says an awful lot about like this is legit, this is real deal stuff. Because Daniel Bryan could have took the safe way, stayed in WWE, did his thing, took that money, and retired and had a great career. But no, he's like, I want to go over here and wrestle all these guys.
Yeah,
I want to hang out with more Minoru Suzuki. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's incredible. It was so good.
Such a good show. I mean, we talked about it for weeks.
Oh my God, we did. Yeah, we talked. Yeah, literally multiple shows. We were like, oh man. I was like, what's going on?
In the ether is a recording of me driving home from watching that show at a buddy's house, And I was like, I have to talk about it. So I did like in the car podcast, but I don't think I ever posted it because I forgot. I'm just gushing over like
You're
that
just like, oh my god, that was
to
so
myself
amazing.
in the
It
car.
was so amazing.
It was so good.
Oh, tremendous. All right, Pluggo, what is the next award we are going to do?
All right. Let's go faction of the year. I think factions are important in wrestling. And again, AEW, there's a ton of them.
I mean, they are.
But
They're faction based to an extent. Like
Yeah.
they're that's what their base is. And I know New Japan has a lot. They not as much as they used to, but they have a bunch of factions too. Like I'm a very big proponent of faction based wrestling. I think it just creates more stories, creates more scenarios. I'm all for it. Contra.
Great shout. You know what? In a lot of ways, I kind of wish I'd have slid them into the nominees. I did not turn them off because that's been a good story since it started. That was a lot of fun.
Yep.
That had they had the former Simon Gotch. That's what got me hooked on the Contra thing. Was like, wait a minute, is that vaudevillain Simon Gotch?
Yeah, is that one half of the vaudevillains?
What is he doing? And then I started watching and I was like, this is pretty damn good. But yeah, Bubba Duke with Contra for life. So the nominees for the Beardy for Faction of the Year are NXT's Toxic Attraction, The Bloodline, Dark Order. They had a year. I mean, they're so over. Dark Order.
Yes, they are.
The Elite, they had a heck of a year leading up to the Omega Hangman feud. And the Inner Circle. I'm gonna just say right now, the Inner Circle get a lot of votes. It was they had a lot of moments.
That was terrible.
They didn't get a lot of votes.
Yeah.
But they had enough moments that we felt putting them in the top 5 made sense. But I'm not happy about it. I'll say that, which is a lot because they have a lot of good parts.
They do.
I'm starting on negative. Like I'm not gonna sit here on my award show and tell you that all these people have a chance to win.
Yeah. We got Billy in the chat. He says the Super Elite, but I don't know if he still wants to just vote for the Elite. But he says the Super Elite, the Inner Circle tie. We have Turnbuckle Talk saying Dark Order. It's hard to argue against the Bloodline for me. They have Roman Reigns, who has been a champion for a full calendar year. The Usos were tag champions. They've dominated SmackDown. Roman had a feud with the brothers during it as well. Like it's just, you can just make an argument for them.
In a lot of ways, the Bloodline, and you include Paul Heyman in that too, because he's part of it, right? So without Heyman doing his masterful work that he does, and the Usos, I don't think this Roman thing hits as hard. Like, yeah, it's great, but they are like, as a unit, it just works. And without the Usos coming in and making the saves and being the faction, he may not have that title still in kayfabe sense. Like if we're talking realistically, he's winning the belt. But without Jimmy and Jay and without Paul Heyman doing a lot of work behind the scenes, I mean, that's a tough faction to argue against. The Dark Order, like I said, super. I was
going to say, for me, that's where my heart is going to lie, is with the Dark Order. So that's who I'm going to vote for. I don't know if they're going to win, but I'm rooting for the Dark Order to win Faction of the Year here. But
I was just going to quick shot Toxic Attraction. I thought Gigi Dolan at War Games put herself on the map in terms of like she could be a huge star for the company. JC Jade. Mandy Rose. Who would have thought Mandy Rose would be the top women's champion in a company?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like,
unbelievable.
And it's working. Whatever they're doing is working down there at the old NXT 2.0. But the winner is boom.
The
Bloodline. Another. They didn't run away with it like I thought they would. The Dark Order came in second. But yeah.
Well, the Dark Order came in second?
Came in second.
All right.
Faction of the Year. They lost out by about 7 votes, but because Dark Order's fun. But the Bloodline, like you said, easy money, easy layup. They've got it going. They got the Universal Champ. They got the Tag Champs. They got the greatest guy on the mic of all time in terms of managers, in my opinion.
Well, not anymore. They booed.
Well, yeah. Well, this was Ask me.
Booted him.
They booted him on Friday, and I'm like putting the words together.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they booted him.
shit.
They booted him. But it's hard to argue. You know, you can make an argument for any one of those teams, and I would have made an argument for the Dark Order, but the Bloodline has been the dump. Look at WWE, and you know, we talk about it. I still watch it every week, but WWE has had, from a booking perspective, not the greatest year. But one of the things that they have gotten right has been Roman Reigns and the Bloodline story. It's been the one of the few consistent stories that they've told all year that has been entertaining. It hasn't been boring, it's just Roman and that story have been really the bright light of WWE on the main roster. And he's been the champ for the whole year. And yeah, I think it's a very understandable, deserving win. I just would have liked to have seen the Dark Order take it because I love the Dark Order. I love me some John Silver.
I will absolutely admit that as I was making our lists and putting it together and thinking about it, the Bloodline didn't even cross my mind at first, which is weird because like they are a faction in the definition. Yeah, but they're not like it's Roman and then it's everybody else, which is true of every faction. There's always a leader and everybody else, but I feel like it's such a far gap.
Yeah.
But they make it work, and they're doing an awesome job, like you said, keeping us entertained on the WWE side, which if they took just a skosh of what they're doing with the Bloodline and gave it to some other wrestlers, man, who knows where that product would be. But hey, that's why we're sitting here on a Thursday night and not in the writer's room. But Vince, call us. You might have to, talk to Spencer. I don't know what our contract states, but
Well, I mean, even if he called us, he wouldn't listen to us anyway.
He'd be like, these guys are.
He'd be like, "What are your ideas?" And then he'd be like, "No, I'm doing what I want." And I'd be like, "Okay."
What are your ideas? Nope, 24/7 title.
Yeah.
Wait, what? No.
Yeah. All right. How many awards have we done now? 4? 5?
I thought you were keeping count. Yeah.
I was not keeping track. I think we've done whatever. It doesn't matter.
Where's Alex when we need him? Oh, yeah, he's behind the glass.
Yeah, Alex is here, back. He's been out the last couple of weeks, but he is back, joining us, helping us out tonight because we had a big award show. We got a lot of stuff we needed, and he said, I'm available, and he said, well, if you're available, we want you there, buddy. So
and he's dancing off screen, but don't
save
those dance moves for the end of the show. We'll have you come on.
Alex, how many awards have we done? 4? 5?
4? I think it's 4. Booker, 4.
4. Rock and roll. All right. Let's see. For this next award, well, I just want to do about half, and then I want to talk about some balls a little bit. But I just want to, we'll get there. But what award do we want to do next? Why don't we do tag team of the year? How about that? I love some tag team wrestling. So let's do tag team of the year.
Again, tag team wrestling. You could have just made this list with AEW 5, Pretty easy. We could have
done AEW 2021 awards if we wanted to, but and the same thing. I think the same
HCW Sports. If you think we're expensive, Astrid's price tag is boy
through the roof.
She's always welcome here, though. She knows that. But yeah, maybe we'll just pick her brain on how to stay more organized.
Hey, you never know.
But then again, that's our charm.
It is. That's what makes us us.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, nominees, Pluggo. Tag team of the year. HCW Sports in the chat are already saying Young Bucks for them.
They're on the list, man. They are on the list. They held down those titles for a good portion of the year.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Usos. We just talked about them in the Bloodline. It's kind of hard to ignore what they've done. They've held those titles for quite some time. RK Bro, I think one of the, like we saw, they've really come to stride. Tag team FTR.
Mm-hmm.
FTR, that's a good one. And they are what, AAA tag team champions at the moment, or did they lose?
No, they're GCW. No, you're talking about FTR.
Yeah,
FTR. Sorry, I saw the comment for the Briscoes. Got in my brain. I saw that's what I saw. Got in my brain. No, yeah, they are the AAA tag team champions.
So,
yes,
and they had they were the Bucks beat them for the titles.
Mm-hmm.
Way back, and of course the AEW tag team champions currently the Lucha Bros, who we talked about earlier in Full Gear, who had that killer matchup in the cage against the Young Bucks.
Yeah, it's
this
good.
One was little bit more spread out.
And as you can tell in the chat of the people, nobody has said the same answer in there. So like, or a couple, but you got Young Bucks, you got Lucha Bros, you got the Briscoes that weren't on our nominations, but still GCW champions. They're going to be coming to AEW to fight FTR, one of the all-time great tag teams. You got Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, another great team that wasn't on the list, but another great team.
I mean, Imperium could have made this list.
Yeah, MSK you could have made an argument for.
The Inspiration, shout out to Josh. They could have made the list. That would have been
RK Bro. I think they are on the list, but RK Bro is really, we just said that Roman is one of the few bright spots. RK Bro is another bright spot that WWE on the main roster has hit with.
AJ and Almost, I believe it or not, I fought for them to make the 5. They just missed the cut in my list because JPJ was like, no.
Well, not that emphatically. I would, it was worth the discussion. But
my wife just texted me and said, Bella Twins, cough, cough, cough. Listen, honey, put it in the chat. We ain't got time for this text and stuff. I got to stay organized. Astrid is watching, and HCW is scrutinizing everything we do.
Yeah.
But I love tag team wrestling. I know that it's before AEW came back into it seemed like the WWE was going away from tag team wrestling. And honestly, I think they still kind of are because there's not a lot of great tag teams, but I think you're seeing a resurgence in tag teams. I mean, we didn't even talk about like the NWA. That was another one of the bright spots was the Hex with Marty Bell and Allison Kay being tag champs over there. I think tag team wrestling is back, baby. It's back, baby. Yes, so if you had to pick JPJ, who won? Who's your pick?
For me, it was the Lucha Brothers. The Lucha Brothers have victories over 2 other tag teams on this list this year in the Young Bucks and FTR. They are the current AEW champions. In my opinion, that tag match that they had with the Young Bucks and the Cage at All Out was the best tag team match of the year. One of the best matches of the year.
Debuted, we'd be talking about that match.
Yep. Yeah, man. They're just incredible. They've had a year and a half. I could watch Ray Phoenix wrestle 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's not a slight at Penta. He's great too, but Ray Phoenix is the next level to me. Yeah, man. They're my pick for tag team of the year.
And drum roll, please.
Oh.
Who won? Boom.
Beardy, oh, yeah, baby.
The tag team of the year goes to the Lucha Brothers. They edged this one out. This one was pretty close. Like I said, all around, all 5 teams got a lot of decent love. They won with 30% of the votes. It was close.
30% of the votes? Oh, wow, that is a close one.
Yeah.
That is a close one.
Yeah. The Young Bucks came in second. FTR was third. RK Bro and the Usos came in 4th and 5th, respectively. It was close all around. Like I said, it's hard. Imagine, putting this list together. Like all 5 of those teams were,
good. Yeah, they all had banner years.
Yeah,
they all had
made an argument for any one of them. Yep. And you could have added, like I said, we could have added a few more. Like maybe next year, who knows? We'll open it up. I'm not sure. We'll see what we do. That Spencer doesn't fire us.
Yeah, right.
Don't think this award show doesn't have a sponsor, y'all.
Oh, it does. Let me get that banner up. Let me get that banner up. Wait for it. There it is. Oh. There it is. Manscaped.com. Manscaped is a company that I have used the products of for years now. I have the Weed Whacker, which helps trim hairs in the nose, the ears, and anywhere you need. The lawnmower, they're up to 4.0. I started with the lawnmower 2.0, dang it. But now they're up to the lawnmower 4.0. It'll protect you. It's nice and easy, smooth finish. Unless you're just going crazy down there, you're not going to hurt yourself. We've been saying it for 2-3 weeks now. You don't want down there to look like up here on us. Yeah, that's not what you want. Unless that's what your significant other wants, then you do what you got to do. But you don't want it to look like this. And Manscaped, they will keep your private region, your man region, kept up, looking great, smelling great. You will love it. Your significant other We'll love it.
You
Thank you, Ed.
wanna
We are
win-
having a good show. I hope you're doing all right, buddy. I know you say you're having a rough week. I hope it gets better for you.
And you know
Thanks
we
for
love
popping
you,
in there.
Ed. We love you, Ed.
Yeah, I know we rag on each other a lot.
So we love you.
Well, not me, but you and Pluggo rag on each other a lot.
Listen,
But-
if you want to win a Beardie Award in the bedroom with your
Correct.
spouse, get you some Manscaped products. I can tell you, I got that crop preserver.
Mm.
I was in my line of professional work, the shoot work, brother. I do a lot of running around. You know, it gets a little musty down there. Sometimes you got to take care of business. And I got to tell you, my balls were never happier.
Yep.
So I put that crop preserver on.
Dude, it's a game changer. It's a game changer.
Mrs. Pluggo enjoyed it too. She was like,
Yes, and that's the thing. Not only will you enjoy it, your significant other will enjoy it as well. It'll be a good thing for everybody. Trust me. You see the banner, go to manscaped.com, put in the promo code Love Wrestling, and you will get 20% off. I stand by these products. I have used these products for years. Manscaped is great. They got everything you will ever need to make sure that you are set up for success down below, my friends. Manscaped.com, promo code Love Wrestling, 20% off. Get on it. That is a Between Two Beards guarantee. You will love the products at Manscaped.
Absolutely. 100%. Can't argue that.
All right, that's how you talk about balls, Pluggo.
Balls, baby.
You see that? That's how you talk about balls.
You don't want this down there. It's not fun. You got to clean it up. Listen, we're in a new age, man.
You know, this ain't the 70s no more.
Yes, no more bushes
Wow.
for the boys.
Wow.
Trim it up. You don't have
Fair.
to look like this all over. And they don't do just balls. They do, like you said, nose, ear, everything. They've got something for every
Everything.
part of your body.
Mm-hmm.
Just men, it's okay to groom.
Oh, what do you mean it's okay to groom? You got to groom.
Except
You gotta groom.
Except right here. Keep that growing. Keep them beards, baby.
All right, Pluggo, I believe it is your turn. As we continue with the Beardie Awards, I believe it is your turn to pick the next award. So pick it. What do you want to do? What are we going to be talking about?
All right. Let's do it. Feud of the year.
Ooh.
This one, and the reason I'm after our sponsorship, we're coming back. We left you on a cliff. Here we go. It was a tie for Feud of the year.
Tie.
Over 80 people voted for all the awards. Everybody voted for every single one that voted. And this tied. And I was surprised. Because, and we debated. We were like, do we count them? Do we not count it? Do we break the tie somewhere? We decided we're going to put the tie up. It's a co-award winner for the Beardie of the year.
I mean, it is a beautiful trophy.
And we're going to let you guys talk it out in the chat and figure out, as my tie just completely fell off.
Wow.
Ugh.
Letting loose. Pluggo's letting loose.
We had a tie there, just as it fell off. Anyway, so Feud of the Year, the nominees are Matt Cardona and Nick Gage for the GCW title, Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that match. So good. Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, one of the best storylines in probably wrestling history. Maybe.
I would say so. Parrish, always good to see you, my friend. Thanks for hopping in. We're going through the Beardie Awards right now. We're talking about Feud of the Year.
Feud of the Year, Parrish. He had some funny ones on Turnbuckle Talk. Maybe he'll drop them in the comments today. Seth Rollins and Edge.
Yep.
That was good stuff.
Yes, it was.
Except
Their match at SummerSlam.
Except for Beth Phoenix leaving all the lights and all the doors unlocked in her house.
What is she doing? You know, Beth, very bizarre. Very bizarre
Love
behavior.
you, Beth Phoenix, but that's just dropping
their match at SummerSlam was very, very good. It was the best match of the show, in my opinion. But their Hell in a Cell match at Crown Jewel was one of the better Hell in a Cell matches you'll see. This match they had on SmackDown was really good too. Great feud. Great feud.
Great feud. And like I said, that was like on the short list of dream matches when Edge came back for me. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly in NXT. That was good. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was
can we just say, I love how they addressed it on Dynamite. I love how they addressed it on O'Reilly's debut. And I love how they addressed it this past Wednesday, where they openly were like, hey man, I know we're not good right now. Like acknowledging it because they know unlike another company, they know that we're not morons,
Yeah.
and we watch the show. And we know what happens. So I good on AEW for at least acknowledging that the last time we saw Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole together, they friggin' wanted to murder each other. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Well, no, I just in the comments we got. I'm assuming Carl with the Turnbuckle Talk handle.
Yes.
Going Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole and
Mm-hmm.
his co-host Bubba Duke saying Omega and Hangman. And guess what? I don't think either one of you are wrong. They were both really well done. The only issue I had with the Adam Cole Kyle O'Reilly thing is I would have shortened that one matchup that was 45 minutes long. I would have probably did 30 and called it good.
Yeah.
Because it felt very long and drawn out for me. It was still a great match, but it definitely it looked like they were going spot to spot and being like, this is the last time we're probably going to do this in NXT. Let's just, F stuff up.
Yeah.
But hey, I digress. So for you, JPJ, who do you think won? Well, I guess who do you think?
Well, it's a tie, so now I know two of them. But I would have picked Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page. I know the feud was longer than just this year, but this year we saw the culmination of it with Hangman winning the title at Full Gear. I don't disagree with what you said a little earlier that it's one of the better wrestling stories ever told. I think I know it's recency bias, but they started telling that story at the opening press conference before they even ever had a Dynamite.
Because Adam Page was dubbed like this guy could be the first. AEW
he came out and he said he was going to be the first ever champion, and Omega they started that story at the press conference, and it was a story interwoven between different levels of things for almost 3 years. And Hangman won the title, and it was just a great moment. To me, that's the feud of the year. My honorable mention, my number 2 without question, is Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, because that was it ended halfway through the year because now they are both in AEW before the year ends. I do agree with you with that one match, the street fight or the unsanctioned match, whatever it was, lights out, whatever they did. It was a tad too long, but that feud was violent, brutal. They hated each other. It was a really, really, as HEW Sports, it was a top shelf feud. But I think the Hangman Omega is an all-time feud. So that's where I'm going.
Fun fact. They came in last.
Wait, Cole and O'Reilly?
Yeah.
Wow.
They came in last with 10% of the votes.
Oof. Yeah.
But put it on the screen, producer Alex. The Beardie Award for Feud of the Year, co-Feud of the Year goes to Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, Nick Gage, and Matt Cardona.
Wow. Well, here's the thing. I'm glad that Nick Gage and Matt Cardona, specifically Matt Cardona, is getting some love here.
Yeah.
And when we were talking about these awards, I fought for Cardona on a few of them. I was like, no, damn it. I was like, I want Cardona involved. I'm like, that guy kept himself relevant. He was one of the most talked about wrestlers all summer. And he did that shit all on his own. And he did one of the only times he truly got over in WWE. He did that on himself. He did that on his own too. Yeah. Oh my God. But no, so I'm happy to see them. I'm happy to see that they got some love. So,
like I said, they single-handedly made deathmatch wrestling like mainstream. Like I, dabble in it here and there, but I'm not like a huge fan of the deathmatch scene. But you hear Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, is going to go up against the deathmatch king Nick Gage. You check it out.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I got to see what this pretty boy WWE and the stuff he's doing now.
Oh, with Effie and Allie Catch.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
He's doing his thing,
Yeah, and he's in Impact too. He's involved in the top level of Impact. Like it's just. Oh no! A recount.
Turnbuckle Talk. You come count all these votes up. I
can't count we'll send them your way. You can skim through them and double check.
So full disclosure, I admittedly am not graded. I would be like trying to figure this out, so I put it into a survey for a reason, and it gives me all of the
work numbers. Harder. No, work smarter, not harder, baby. That's what that's called.
I got a pie chart.
Work smarter.
HCW. That is. I was there. like Eric Dillinger and Isaiah Moore are fantastic. Both of them.
There you go.
Very like Isaiah
Two
Moore
names
is,
to look out for.
Oh, absolutely. I think
Two names to look out for.
especially the Midwest indie scene. Those two definitely are going to take it by storm. Just saying. I'm calling it now. Call my shot.
Got to do it. Ooh, the hell was that? You get the sniffles over there?
Oh,
bro?
yeah. Sorry. I'm a little under the weather, but it's an award show. I'm here for you guys, the fans. And that's why he used Survey Monkey. I used Survey Planet.
Wow.
Maybe they missed a couple of Turnbuckle Talks votes there.
Unbelievable. Anyway, good
let's
Lord.
move it right along here.
All right, what do we have left? We have 4
Independent Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah, why don't we do that? And then we'll have 3 remaining, correct? And it'll be the big we have 4 remaining after that?
Yep, we've got Breakout Star coming up, Male and Female Wrestlers of the Year, and Match of the Year.
Got it. All right, yeah. So let's do Breakout. That's a good one. So Breakout Wrestler of the Year.
First.
Yeah, Indie. I'm sorry, I lied.
Do the Independent Wrestler of the Year. This is always a favorite. We should have. Where's Astrid? Where is Astrid?
See, this is
when we need her. Holy smokes! He had a as soon as like AEW came calling Isaiah Moore, his name, he's good. He's really good. I will admit. He actually was at the first independent wrestling show I had ever went to because I admittedly like 4 or 5 years ago didn't realize that independent wrestling was like something I could just find in like my local scene.
Mm-hmm.
And he was one of the guys there. So I've seen him from there to now. And oh my God, dude's on a path. There'll be a name. HCW Sports is a little biased. That's their boy. No, but they're not wrong. He's really good. Anyway, this is another one of those categories where it was really hard to like nail down the 5 because the Forbidden Door this year has really made it like you can come and go. You can be on AEW. You can go to Impact. You can do things and not necessarily be signed. Or you could be like a Matt Cardona type and be signed to Impact, but do everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So is he an indie? Is he not? So these are the 5 we came up with. Again, there's so much great independent wrestling out there that nailing this down to 5 was hard. Mm-hmm. But these were the 5 that we thought circumference like what independent wrestling was for the year 2021. One of my personal favorites, Masha Slamovich. I think she's fantastic. I would watch her wrestle anybody, anytime, anywhere. Trish Adora, another fantastic. That Iron Person match she had with Tony Deppen.
Tony Deppen, yeah, that was a good one.
If you didn't see
real
that,
good.
Go check that out. That's an hour of just fun.
Yeah, real good.
We talked about him earlier. Effie's on a tear right now with Cardona doing his thing. He's got, he's a big part of the GCW collectives when they do those for this big gay brunch. He is like the true definition of like independent wrestler. Like he does everything himself. AJ Gray, dude's killing it out there right now. He actually gave us a little shit.
Yeah, he did. He was messing around. I knew he was. You were like, wait, should I change? I'm like, no. I'm like, no, he's ragging on it.
Yeah,
let him do it. He's having fun.
I was like, shit.
But no, AJ Gray showed us some love on the Twitter, so we appreciate that. So
he had another monster year. He's been having consistent years. I think a lot of people are sleeping on AJ Gray, but not us here at Between Two Beards. And we talked about him. He just won a Beardy. He's up for another one. Nick effing Gage.
Nick Gage had a year. Like
what he did.
He had a Dark Side of the Ring episode on him. He main evented an AEW Dynamite against Chris Jericho. We talked about the Cardona feud and how that kind of, GCW rose up in the ranks of the independent wrestling scene a little bit. Like, I feel like they're kind of that how ECW was in the mid 90s, like that niche. I feel like GCW has really filled that. They remind me of that type of atmosphere. And they've really risen up to a top level independent promotion. And I think part of the reason they did that was because of Nick Gage, and it was because of what he did. He feuded with John Moxley. Yeah. He had a match with Minoru Suzuki. The Cardona feud put GCW and, like you said, deathmatch wrestling on the mainstream level for a couple months. And that got him to main event friggin' Dynamite against Chris Jericho in a death match on AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, which you don't see those on
no, you don't.
TV.
No, you don't.
Ever.
No, you don't.
He's not everyone's cup of tea. I know.
No, and deathmatch wrestling isn't everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine. It's not one of my favorites either.
But the fact that now, for me, even I follow the independent scene and I keep tabs on what I can. But even now, like when GCW announces an event, it's like I got to see what the card is. I want to see it. I got to find out who's wrestling who.
They're going to be doing the Hammerstein show in a few weeks here in January, and that's a big deal. That's going to be a big weekend for them. It's a weekend here where I think we're actually going to be doing some reaction shows to it afterwards.
And a lot of this is on his back.
100%.
He took on all comers. He got into some big feuds with some big names, and it paid off huge. So you can't underscore that for what he's done on the independent scene. So those are the 5. Those are our thoughts. Who do you think won? Since you don't know.
Who do I think won? Well, my vote was for Nick Gage. My vote was for Nick Gage. I would say if not Nick Gage, I would go Trish Adora. But my vote was for Nick Gage.
Drum roll, please. Beardie of the Year goes to
Nick Gage, man. Nick Gage. Cleaning up. Multi-time Beardie Award winner. First ever multi-time Beardie Award winner, Nick effing Gage.
Do you think
I think that's right. I think that's the right call.
If we ship these together, we'll save a little money.
Yeah. Yeah. Or we just engrave the plaque that it says 2X on it. So 2-time.
There you go. I'm interested to see how he, because in a lot of, I don't even think in a lot of ways, I think this is the biggest year of his career.
Oh yeah.
I'm now more than ever interested to see how he follows it up, how he sustains this going forward, especially in a deathmatch setting that isn't conducive to long term, right? He's almost died in the ring a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how much, because that's what he's known for. You're not going to see some technical, Brian Danielson type match out of him. You're going to see some shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see if he could become a 2-time Beardie Award winner next year for Independent Wrestler of the Year. Because I don't know if anybody would sign him. I just don't.
I think it would just be maybe a
show up in NXT 2.0. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think Billy's going to say almost died. He literally did. I think he technically might have actually died for a few minutes. But
they said
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I miss. I do.
But I think that is. I agree with that. I think that's the right pick for that award this year. He had a year, dude. He made deathmatch wrestling mainstream, and
we're talking about independent wrestling before we move on to Breakout Star of the Year. Go check out your independent scenes. Go follow some. These are the people that you find and you'll see on AEW or Impact or WWE to some extent. Now that they're not.
Look at independent for me where I live is Chaotic Wrestling, and Chaotic Wrestling. Kofi Kingston came from there. Sasha Banks came from there.
Yeah.
Ivar Warbeard Hansen, as I call him, from the Viking Raiders. He came from there, among many, many, many other wrestlers. Carmelo Hayes, Carmelo Hayes, Ramsey Casanova.
My hometown is HCW. That's fine.
Well, there you go. So support your indies. Go see your indie wrestlers. And because like Pluggo said, in 5 or 10 years, they're going to be the names that are at this level of independent wrestling or in these promotions that we watch weekly. So Pluggo is right there.
Yes. But no,
all right.
We got to keep this train going. More wrestling is better for everybody. That's why we're here. We're talking more wrestling. So Breakout Star of the Year. Now
let's go.
I'm going to preface this and say that I got If it was up to me solely, this would have just been Hook 5 times. But unfortunately, he's only had 2 matches, and I know
Yeah, no, Hook can be on it next year. Hook can be on it next year.
Hook would have won every award in my book, but we're a committee. I can't always just do what I want. Got to maintain some sort of credibility. Anyway, this was a good year. We had a lot of names. This is another one of those things where it's kind of hard to narrow it down to 5 because wrestling is booming and there's some stars that were built. And breakout star definitions can be subjective, of course.
Mm-hmm. Sure can.
We kind of went with just who had a good year that's like on the map. And in a lot of ways, we think next year is going to be like, they broke out this year. So next year they're going to be in the top, hopefully.
Billy, you're going to make me blush, man. You're going to make me blush, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Hey, somebody screenshot that. And
yeah, you should.
For our buddy Ed.
Yeah. How do we not win our own Beardy Award?
Yeah.
But all right. What are the nominees for breakout wrestler of the year?
My pick, Jade Cargill. She's 21-0 right now. She's in the TBS final that'll happen next week.
Yep.
Star, in my opinion. Dante Martin. How can you argue Dante Martin? He's done some things. He defies logic inside of a wrestling ring, and I think without, as much as we miss Darius, his brother, is it Darius Martin? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dante's really shined in the singles role and broken out, in our opinion. Braun Breaker. I mean, that's a no-doubter right there, right? Braun Breaker is the bright spot in NXT 2.0.
Mm-hmm. I believe he will be a main roster champion in the calendar year of 2022. 2022 main roster champion. Braun Breaker.
Philly said he hates that dude. Well,
no,
he's gonna.
You can hate the name. I will give you. You can hate the name.
Yeah,
I love it. I love him in the ring. I love his outfits. I love that he looks like a Steiner brother. He sounds like a Steiner.
But we can't call him a Steiner.
I love it. It's just a terrible name. Just a god awful name.
Wardlow.
Yeah. I messaged you last night. And I was like, dude, Wardlow powerbombing people till they die. Awesome. I look forward to that every week on Dynamite now. Every week I look forward to Wardlow just powerbombing dude. Like he's getting so over with the crowd that when he rips MJF's head off, that dude's going to be made. That
That could have been independent. I mean, those are 2 good shots. I think Daniel Garcia would be on a list if we went to maybe 8.
Mm-hmm.
Lee Moriarty, if you just look at what he's done in AEW, I feel like he needs a few more wins.
Yep.
My thing with Lee Moriarty, and I've said this forever, is I love what the guy does in a ring. I know he's immensely talented. Every time I turn on a Lee Moriarty match, like 90% of the time he's taking an L, which I know doesn't ultimately mean anything in wrestling, but it's one of those things where it's like, I just want that dude to win all the time.
Yeah.
He starts stringing some matches together in AEW and getting some wins, he'll be up there. And then last we went with Carmelo Hayes, the North American champion, because yes, his reign has been short, his time in NXT has been short, but he just looks
like a star.
Yeah, just absolute stud. I think he won't be in NXT 2.0 for long. I think eventually he'll get that call up to the main roster. So I think it's a call up officially now. I don't think they're doing the third brand thing. I think it's officially.
No, it's just straight up. It's straight up call ups. Yeah, they turn it into a developmental plan. Yeah. And I agree. My opinion is I agree with Turnbuckle talk. Sorry, Billy. Braun Breaker to me is the breakout star. Like they have built NXT 2.0 around him. He's the reason they transitioned to what they're doing. In my opinion, right now he is still
should have beat Ciampa right out the gate.
He should have 100%. But if you ask me right now, who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble? I don't have many guys above Braun Breaker. I don't have many guys above Braun Breaker. I really don't. If you would like make a list, it would probably be Brock and Braun Breaker. Like those would be the 2 guys that I would pick.
Well, shall we?
So that's my pick would be Braun Breaker.
The 2020 one award winner for Breakout Star, Beardie Award winner, is Braun Breaker.
Yep.
He ran away. He didn't run away with this, but 30% of the votes isn't too shabby for 5 people, 5 nominees. He is, without a doubt, like I said, the bright spot of NXT 2.0. And yes, Astrid, NXT, check that out on Tuesday nights with The Natural, Astrid and Ed, as they break down all the haps in NXT 2.0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's deserving. He's come onto the scene out of nowhere. I like Cora Jade could have made it too if the list was a little bit bigger. She could have been involved.
We discussed it.
New Year's Evil is shaping up to be quite the show next week. So we'll have to see. But yeah,
that Steiner kid.
Yeah.
He's not a Steiner. What are you talking about?
Yeah. He's not related. Not related to the Steiners or anything like that.
I would like to go through like the database of all the names in history, and I can almost assure you
the rumor was that they were just going to call him Rex Steiner. R-E-X Steiner. That would have been unreal. Like that would have been just perfect. And it's just like, it's unfortunate. But Braun Breaker is just not a great name, but I've loved most of the stuff that they've done with them. I love the promo where he was like, hey, you want a friend? Get a dog. Like, I'm not here. You want a friend? Get a dog.
Get a dog.
I'm here to kick some ass. I was like, yeah. I love that now he does the hoo, hoo, hoo when he comes down to the ring, like he does the bark and the whole.
Which I don't understand.
It's just like.
Just run with it.
He looks like he sounds like a Steiner. He looks like a Steiner. He wears the colorful singlet like Scott Steiner used to do.
And
he just looks cool. He looks great. The way they positioned him, I haven't seen him have a bad match.
And they brought
he cuts good promos. He looks like a star. And you gave him a top 5, maybe top 3 worst wrestling name of all time. Oh
yeah, give him
unbelievable. I would love the headgear. But I think everything besides the name, I think, has been on point. So I agree. He was my vote. I agree.
All right. Well, he won it. He's officially a Beardie Award winner.
I'm sure he's pumped. Once he gets the news, I'm sure he's going to be stoked.
If we should send it to him and put Rex Steiner on it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. No, I don't think he would. Yeah.
You wouldn't be happy with that?
I don't know.
So we've got 3 more to go.
We got 3 more. The big 3 ones. What? The big 3 of the awards. We have Match of the Year, Female and Male Wrestler of the Year. We will get to those. Yeah. What do you want to do first, Paul? You want to do the match and then the male and female? Or you want to do
why not?
one and then the match, then the other? How do you want to do it?
Let's go Male Wrestler of the Year. That was
You want to go Male Wrestler of the Year?
Yeah, then we'll go
All
match.
right.
We'll let the
I'm ready
ladies
for
finish it out. I'm down with that.
All right, that works for me.
All right,
Male Wrestler. Oh, HCW, thank you. Appreciate you a lot. Top shelf words of wisdom, man. That's what I'm here for.
We love all of you guys showing up tonight, hanging out.
Yeah, we've had a good turnout. You guys are killing it in the chat, talking about it, having a good time. Even Billy, who hates Braun Breaker.
If you're in the chat, tell Spencer to keep us around in 2022.
HCW wanted us to do match, but we'll do the male, and then we'll do the match, then we'll close it out with the ladies. So let's roll. All right, Male Wrestler of the Year, Pluggo. Give us them nominees.
Again, another. This one was close.
This I think was our strongest. This was our strongest 5, I think.
And there's some ones that could have Tyrus didn't make the list.
I saw that quote earlier. I saw that comment earlier. Hey Mike, what's going on, man? Thanks for hopping in.
Yep, what's up, Mike? Much love. All right, the nominees for Beardie Awards Male Wrestler of the Year. Big E. That's easy. That's a no-brainer. Roman Reigns. Easy. No-brainer. Kenny Omega. I know he's been out, but he had a hell of a start to the year. Bryan Danielson / Daniel Bryan. However you want to play that, he's on the list. And Hangman Page, your current AW champion.
That's a strong 5.
That's
a strong 5.
And spoiler alert, Hangman came in last. That's how strong
did he?
5 is. Yes.
Wow.
Over 80 votes, he finished last.
Man.
Yeah, but that's
Wow.
that's the top. You know, we're not even
Well, he
talking
did
about
miss
the
a
stuff that,
chunk.
like,
He was at home with a child for
Yeah.
3 months or so.
and didn't
but
make it like Bobby Lashley had a strong
yeah,
year.
we
Drew had a
didn't.
solid year. I
Mhm.
mean, it's one of those things. It's just a
Yeah.
tough. I mean, I'm gonna say it. I thought Cody Rhodes had an all right year. I know it's weird, but I know people are
Don't say that too
crapping on him.
loudly. People will leave.
Yeah,
People will stop watching.
Sorry, but like
Cut it out.
he knows what he's doing in that ring. But
I am shocked that Hangman finished last.
Yes, I'm
to
just
be honest with
spoiler
you.
alerting that now. But no, I mean, like, it was the closest vote by far
Of all of
across
them?
the board outside. Like, so yeah, like it was. You could make a case for any of these 5, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
We have Astrid in the chat saying Roman. We have an Omega in the chat. Our friend Bobby said Adam Cole. That's another guy that could have been on the list if it was a little bit bigger than 5.
Well, had you not taken the title off of Tony Thunder, HCW Sports, I'd agree with you. But hey, I digress.
Well, the funny thing was, I'm leaning towards Daniel Bryan / Bryan Danielson. That would be my pick.
You've
He
been
main
very
evented
adamant about that.
Yep. He main evented WrestleMania. And I know the other day when we were chatting about it in the Turnbuckle Talk chat, you were like, he didn't win any big matches. And I said, I get it. I get it.
I think that has to factor. It's not the end all be all, but I definitely think that has to factor. Throwback, how are you?
Yeah, thanks for saying that, my friend. We appreciate it. Glad we could help you get through the year. You've been a good friend to the show, so we appreciate you.
Yes,
thanks for hopping in. I hope you have a safe and happy new year over the next few days. Yeah, but for me, he main evented WrestleMania Night 2. That triple threat match is an underrated match.
Oh, yeah.
It's an underrated match. Doesn't get talked about enough. That was a really, really good match.
I think it doesn't get talked about enough because it was a 2-night Mania with a 2-night NXT.
Yeah, it was a big weekend. There was a lot happening.
And it was like midnight on a Sunday. And so I think fatigue set in. But if you go back and you really like honed in on it, and it stands like, and to think that Daniel Bryan was main eventing WrestleMania, and then a few months later he is
and then he shows up at All Out, and then he just goes on a run. He has the time limit draw with Omega. He has an unreal match with Eddie Kingston. He has Suzuki. He has that match. He had a really good match with Nick Jackson. And then he goes on and he fights Hangman for the title. First of all, and then he goes through the tournament. He fights Miro. I know that wasn't supposed to be Miro, but he has a great match with Miro. And then he has this title match against Hangman, and they go 60 minutes on Dynamite.
But you didn't think Hangman could do it, honestly.
No, they go 60 minutes, time limit draw. I know that, it's just, he's been on the run of his, and he's Bryan Danielson now, but it's distinctly different from what we saw when he was in WWE, So for me, he would be my pick. He's been the most enjoyable wrestler for me to watch this year, which is why I would vote for him as male wrestler of the year. But I could see Roman winning very easily. Roman's the only guy on the list to hold a title from day 1 through what's going to be day 365.
Omega held 3.
Omega held 3, and he held one of them throughout the majority of the year. Full Gear was in November,
I think we forget that he was holding down the world title in Impact
and AAA. Yeah, and he had to, he still had the AAA title. He had to hand that over
because he got hurt. He needed some time off for sure.
It's a strong 5.
And I mean,
I could see Roman winning, but
job too. And
Big E cashed in. He's been doing a great job as champion there too. So my pick would be Danielson, just because personally he's been the guy I've enjoyed the most to watch. But I could easily see Roman Reigns taking this easily.
And I will talk further about the percentages after I do the drum roll. The winner of the male wrestler of the year goes to. He's really good at that. Bryan Danielson.
Yeah,
he had 28% of the vote.
Wow, that's really spread out.
And I kept tabs on this throughout the past few days of the polls. Roman was running away with it, and like a last surge,
Really?
Daniel Bryan overtook him by 1 vote.
Wow, that's how close it was. It was a
2 votes.
It was a 2-vote victory.
2 votes, and Omega
Yeah.
was right behind him, and then Big E finished 4th, and like I said, Hangman was 5th. So it could be recency bias as you do these at the end of the year, but if you look at his body of work throughout the entire, like you said, he did great stuff
Absurd.
at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
He's doing amazing
truly
stuff
absurd.
now. He hasn't held a major title, so that's interesting. The other 4 have or are.
Yeah, like I said, Roman has held the title all year. Like I wasn't going to be shocked if Roman won. It would have been very deserving.
He had it early.
Yeah, if I'm voting for who I think is the male wrestler of the year, it's the guy that I've enjoyed watching the most, and that's Ben Danielson, especially in AEW. This run has been insane.
How do you think Roman feels knowing he won Faction of the Year's Beardy and not the male wrestler of the year?
You know, I'm sure he's crying about it.
He's pissed
I'm sure
right
he's
now.
just pissed, throwing things around the house.
Just upset.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, we want to do we're closing it out with female, or do you want to do just female now and then we close it out with match?
Let's let's do it. Recount.
Recount.
Listen,
Yeah, Billy's like, nah. I don't think so. Oh yeah, why don't we do female wrestler of the year, and then we'll main event this puppy with match of the year. How about we do that?
All right, now this female wrestler of the year again. I thought that this was a banner year for women's wrestling. This is another one that we left some people off the list. Just
yeah. There was not enough. This could have been 10 easily.
Easy because they're killing it. They're killing it right now. I think this is some of the best work we've seen on a main event level for a long time, and I hope it stays that way. I really do. Excuse me. Oh,
Pluggo's dying. So
so I'm trying to. Oh, we got some issues popping off. What is this? Technical difficulties. I'm not supposed to touch buttons, but
yeah, don't touch buttons.
Don't touch anything. Anyway, female wrestlers of the year. The nominees are Deonna Purrazzo, Impact Wrestling, on fire right now. She's one we talked about earlier when she left the WWE. She's been on fire ever since, and this was a banner year for her. I can't disagree with her being on the list. Bianca Belair won the Royal Rumble, main evented WrestleMania. I didn't like the way she lost the title, but that's okay. She still had a solid year. Sasha Banks also made it. Sasha maybe wasn't there the whole year, but when she was, you couldn't argue with what she did.
Yeah, agreed.
Brit Baker, DMD, held the AEW title pretty much all year, if not all year. I think she won it. When did she win that? Full Gear last year? Or is it this year?
No, she won it at
I feel like she's had it.
Was it Double or Nothing? Or was it Revolution? Maybe she won it earlier this year.
Yeah,
earlier this year.
Had it forever. Yeah, that's right. She beat Sheeta.
Yeah.
And Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for all the hate comments like Charlotte.
No. She deserves to be there. She deserves to be there. What you think about her or not, she deserves to be there.
So that was 5, and if I pushed hard for Thunder Rosa. I'm going to give her an honorable mention because I feel like what she did in the ring in AEW was stellar, but also all the work that she does with Mission Pro and on the independent scene. I think we got to give a big shout to Thunder Rosa for everything that she does, not at a mainstream level, because she is slowly building Mission Pro into one of the must-see women's promotions in the world. So good for her.
Oh boy! Let us know in the comments. I'm seeing
me on Twitter.
Heyo. I'm seeing some Deonna Purrazzo love from Carl at Turnbuckle Studios, and Turnbuckle Talk. I saw a Charlotte Billy, I believe, loves some Charlotte.
Yeah.
For me, I love Brit Baker. I love Brit Baker. She's my favorite female wrestler on the planet. However, her championship run has been a little lackluster to me. The run. She's had good matches, but the stories haven't been that terrific. So my pick is Bianca Belair. That's who I think is the female wrestler of the year. She won the Royal Rumble to start the year. She had an historic WrestleMania moment, being one of the first 2 African-American women to main event to WrestleMania. That match is one of the best matches of the year. She won the Raw Women's title. Was it Raw or SmackDown? Was it SmackDown? SmackDown at the time. Then she moved to Raw. So she won the SmackDown Women's title. That match with Sasha Banks was awesome.
We're
HEW.
we're back up. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
we're
happened.
back up. I don't know what
back.
happened. That's 2 weeks in a row. We've been popped off for like a second or two on Twitch where it just ended. I don't know what's going on there.
It's the fact that we spent so much money.
It must be.
Spencer
Tonight was
literally-
subdued. No guests. Just like straight up. Like
Yeah.
the hell.
You realize that like we're still paying off like the Warrens and the SRSs
You
of the
know,
world.
gonna have to
and
talk to the boss
Bill-
in the morning and see what
Bill
the deal
Lindsay,
is.
You know, he probably just kicked the lights back on and was like, "Oh,
I know.
but
We had a good amount of viewers in here too. Like we were rocking and rolling there. I don't know what happened.
Ed probably pulled the plug.
Yeah, Ed was like, "I'm enough of them. Enough of them."
But no,
but
this is a stacked 5.
yeah.
Like, again,
So for me, even though Britt Baker is my favorite current women's wrestler, I'm going Bianca Belair. She, like Asher said, she faced all the 4 horsewomen. I know, unfortunately, a lot of us did not like the way she lost the title to Becky, but they've kind of built her back up since then to be, she's a star. She's 100% a
that
star.
Bailey Belair Hell in the Cell match, I think, is underrated as well. I thought that was a lot well done. We're huge Bailey fans.
Huge
right
Bailey
here,
fans. I love
but
Bailey.
I think that, so this one was interesting because I agree with everything that you said. I think that Belair had the best year overall.
Mm-hmm.
But did she win? Drum roll, please. The Beardie Award winner for Female Wrestler of the Year 2021 is
Britt Baker.
Brit Baker. She
Nice.
won. She had 40% of the vote.
DMD.
And you can't argue that. And I think
No, I cannot.
the stuff she's got going on with Jamie Hayter has been interesting. I know that last night Mercedes Martinez debuted and Thunder Rosa was the casualty of that, but I really want to see Thunder Rosa get that title shot and maybe be the one to dethrone Britt. I don't know, because they found a way to get Rosa out of the TBS title picture, so maybe that frees her up. But Britt's holding it down. She's had a really interesting career trajectory where she was the first woman signed to AEW, so everybody thought she was going to be Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch or Bailey or a 4 horsewoman type. She took some time to develop, and then when she was a face and it just kind of wasn't working, and as soon as she flipped and switched heel, boom, she's been off to the races. So I can't argue that. Bianca Belair did come in second.
Okay.
Again, I think you can't argue that. She would have been my pick.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's up to me, but this was up to you, the fans. So if you're mad, be mad at yourself. Next time, vote more.
That's true. Well, I mean, we had 80 votes. We had some good votes. That's a good number. 80 votes.
Pay your friends to get your favorite wrestler over. You know
apparently.
And in third place is Diana Purrazzo, which
very much deserved. Yeah, much deserved. Killed it.
I think if you don't have Bianca Belair's massive year in terms of like the accolades that she hit, I think Diana is probably there.
Yep.
As the winner. And then last place was Sasha Banks. She didn't get many votes. Again.
But that shows you how strong that category is. If Sasha Banks is finishing last, and same with the male. If Hangman Page and Sasha Banks are finishing last in male and female wrestlers of the year, you know it's a strong category.
That means whatever you like, wrestling is good. It doesn't matter what you like. It's all good. It's all great.
100%.
And then Charlotte Flair, she was in there too.
Yeah.
I think the Charlotte fatigue is strong, but you can't argue that if you need a big match out of a big time performer, you go to Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
You just do.
And Turnbuckle Studios that's a good. He goes. He's mad. Deanna is a champ in multiple companies and number 3 on the PWI ranking this year. What the hell? I agree.
Hey.
I agree. I'm glad. I'm glad she finished third, and got some love from the people. Bianca was number 1 on PWI.
Yeah. Britt was
5 or 6, I think. 6, I think.
Yeah. All these women had fantastic years, and there was a whole bunch of women that had even good years too. I think this shows just how good, especially if we just want to keep it into the women's realm, how good and progressed women's wrestling has been. Where
Yep.
you now, it's like in years past, it was like, I think last year's PWI top 100 was all WWE women, all 5,
Mhm.
the top
Yep.
5. And now you're getting an Impact star in the top 3. Britt Baker's knocking on that door. You know, they had I don't want to butcher her name. The
Utami. I don't know the last name, but Utami was
from
number
Stardom,
2.
which is, again, we didn't include her because it's not our strong
It's
suit.
not something we watch regularly. We couldn't talk to it, so.
But she's phenomenal when you get a
Yeah.
chance. And I mean, even like just the mid card in AEW right now with the Tay Contis coming up, Jade Cargill, Ruby Riott had a really strong finish to the year. I mean, you could have went so many directions. So be mad, Turnbuckle Talk. You know we love you, but I mean, her being in that conversation is impressive, especially given that Impact is. It's not one of people's appointment viewing, so to speak, but she definitely has killed it.
All right.
So
So we have come to our last. I know, recount. People yelling recount. We have come to our last.
Just vote more. Get your friends and families to vote next year.
Yeah, next we got 8. We had 80 votes this year. Next year, how about we get 100? How about we get over 100?
200. How about we go big?
Let's dream big, bro. Aim big.
Ruby Soho. She's not Ruby Riott anymore. I think her having to take 90 days off and
and like let's be real. Yeah, like she was in WWE until about summertime or so, or spring, and she wasn't being used. So, she really has only been used into that point, like since she's joined AEW, and that's a short window of time.
Yes, she did. Matt is very good with the Joshi wrestling.
Yeah, and he had his own poll. So he said Utami won Match of the Year and female wrestler. So she's number 2 on PWI. I just. I don't watch that stuff regularly, so I can't.
Fun fact: Tay Conti is like the women's wrestler of the Mr. Warren Hayes Discord room. Like they love Tay Conti there. Like she's and that's another one of those that was in the WWE system. They didn't know what to do with her. Maybe she hadn't quite hit the development level they wanted. She goes off, reinvents herself in AEW, and is one of the more entertaining things to watch.
Yeah, you could have made an argument that she was a breakout star of the year. She should have been, she could have been if we had slightly more nominees, she would have been 6, 7 right there. Darnell, the awards are going good. We're about to get to the last award, which is Match of the Year. So
this is another one.
Joel, unfortunately, you did. I won that. Beardiest Beard. I beat Braun Strowman, so I won that. I beat Pluggo. I beat Braun Strowman.
Did somebody say Braun? My name is Adam. It is not Braun. It is Adam.
Okay, sorry.
I'm coming for you, JPJ.
Don't. I would not last long. It would be over.
I'm trying early in the
hands
show,
up.
I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to get that JPJ going. I'm trying not to have my.
So I'm at the point now where it's we're coming up on the new year, and it's winter where I live, and it's going to be cold for the next 2 or 3 months. I don't think I'm going to trim it at all. So I'm going to see. I'm going to see where it goes, but I think I'm just going to try to.
Is I let it go until Mrs. Pluggo says you look homeless.
Fair.
Which means, all right, at least go trim it up, make it look presentable. You're starting to look like a bum, and I didn't marry no scrub. You know what I'm saying?
Matt, we talked about that before we got into the awards at the beginning of the show. It was one of those things where, like,
that's what she wants to do.
Yeah, man. If she's not in a good headspace and she needs to get out of there for her own personal well-being or just because of her career or things like that, like, sometimes you got to make hard decisions. I believe at that Ring of Honor show, he did go by Titan. I believe he did.
Alexa, I miss you.
All right.
It's getting off the rails.
Save that for a different show, will you? Jesus Christ. All right, we got one more award to go. We have Match of the Year. That will be the last Beardy of the evening. Pluggo, give us the nominees for Match of the Award for the first annual. We will end the first annual Beardy Awards. What are those nominees,
While I
my
pull
friend?
up the nominees, I saw Alex doing this in the You ever see that Chappelle Show skit where his like, wrap it up? You got to wrap that up, B. And he's got like the little timer thing.
Yeah.
We need one of those. Match of the year again. Keep it.
I agree with you, Matt. I believe Tony Storm would be a good pickup for any company, but yes, I agree with you there.
Yeah, I just with Mercedes Martinez in the fold now, Ruby Riott, some of the women coming into the Tay Contis, the Anna Jays, getting that repetition. I think you're going to see a very strong 2022. Jade Cargill, I think she'll be.
Turnbuckle Studios. We're talking about match of the year here, not squash of the year.
Yeah,
right?
it's not a feud if I win every week.
It's, yeah,
it's not every. I don't know what I did to Ed. Ed knows we love him. I can't help it that we're the flagship. That was Spencer's wording.
That would be more of a fair fight. Pluggo versus the budget. That would be more of a fair fight.
No, I blow that every week. I beat that down too. You're lucky I didn't get sparklers. Anyway, let's get
Nominees. Match of the year. Let's go.
Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, WrestleMania. I think that's an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker. The lights out match at, I think it was like, they called it like St. Patrick's Day Smash or something.
Yeah, something like that.
They love Smash. Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson.
30-minute time limit
draw. Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson, the 60-minute
time limit draw.
Two of these matches didn't have a winner. And then Daniel Bryan versus Edge and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So Bryan Danielson is on here.
3/5 of this award he is nominated.
And I don't think you're gonna. Who do you think won?
Who do I think won? Well, I know my favorite match of the year was Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. That's my favorite match of the year.
Honorable mention: Nick Gage, Matt Cardona. That match.
Yes, I agree. Agree. My
matches of the year. While we're getting this,
my favorite match of the year was Thunder Rosa and Baker. Turnbuckle Studios. Great minds think alike. So that's where my vote's going to go. I hope that one wins. Sasha and Bianca, though, incredible stuff.
Yep.
Incredible stuff. I prefer the Danielson Omega to the Danielson Hangman, but those are clearly both classics. And that triple threat match we talked about earlier, I think that doesn't get talked about enough. I think that was an underrated match of WrestleMania weekend. Wow. Billy taking shots at you, bro. That was a shot. That was a shot down there.
It's not a feud if I dominate.
Jeez.
Buffet shut down because of
me. To take this tie off. Start throwing down.
Billy and I have a long-standing friendly rivalry that dates back years.
That is a fantastic match. Matt Pac versus Andrade from Rampage was excellent. If we had, next year we talked about we'll probably go up to maybe 10 per award or just go up a little bit. But anyway, but for me, I'm picking Britt.
People want me to destroy Ed.
I don't know. I'm picking Britt and Thunder Rosa. That's my pick.
The debate, all you have to do is say, I know you are, but what am I 1,000 times until they get frustrated and you win. All right. And our final Beardy of the night, the first annual Beardie Awards close with match of the year, and the winner is. He's really good at that.
Hey, all right.
Brit Baker versus Thunder Rosa. The lights out match. Oh my gosh. That match was fantastic. For me, I would think not even for me, for everyone. I think it's like you don't see women's wrestling do that, especially on a mainstream level, and go to those extremes. And I think it just said, hey, we can do it too. Yeah. And it was one of the most highly debated, criticized, loved, then that's what you want. You want people being like, this was awesome. A lot of people didn't like it, but I think it was fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, for me, we talked about that earlier because that was one of the nominees for Feud of the year, Matt. All three of those matches were amazing. All three of them. It was hard to pick one. That's why, it's just a great feud. Okay, so for me, I had a good thought.
Omega Danielson came in second.
Omega Danielson. Yeah, I think that's about right.
Hangman Bryan came in.
So for me, right, this Britt Baker Thunder Rosa match, not only was the match amazing, it went to levels that I don't think any of us were expecting it to. I was looking at it like, oh, lights out, all right, they'll use some weapons. It'll be, it'll be good. But it was like, whoa. It just went to a different level. And this was the match that Britt Baker was ascending, right? She was ascending still during this. This was the match that made Britt Baker. Like this match made her the star that everyone was like, ooh, this is the person I want. And the thing that's crazy about this, and I don't think a lot of people might remember, she lost. Britt Baker lost this match. She lost it. Thunder Rosa won, which is obviously Thunder Rosa rules too. So like whatever.
Yeah.
But like you look back on it and you're like, oh, well, Britt Baker is the champ. She's this great top, they openly have CM Punk say she's a pillar week after week on the show. Like she is.
And
She's
Punk's
a top
not saying
performer
that
in that
just to say
company.
it.
And you look back and this is the match that catapulted her to that. And she lost it. And I think the fact that she lost this match and still went to where she was just like, man.
'Cause I think in a lot of ways with Britt Baker, they see the like clean cut dentist doctor persona. They didn't think that she'd go there, and she's willing to go there. Like she said it openly. She's like, yeah, I think I shocked the world when I come out there, and I'm willing to just go into thumbtacks and get all bloodied up and get dirty. Like, whew,
Incredible. All right. On that note, we've been here for over 2 hours.
This was a long one, but award shows are always long.
They are. They always run late. We should have had music. We should have had music that we could have queued up when we were talking too long
like
about
the
certain
Saturday
awards.
Night Live scroll.
Yeah,
Like,
in memoriam.
yeah,
Exactly. But before we get out of here, this is the last show of the new year. So, it is one of those times where you kind of look back on the year. I know we just kind of look back on the year in wrestling, but I want to take a minute and just say how thankful I am that we got to do this. 2021 is the year that obviously you and I both joined Love Wrestling. It's the year that you and I met on this thing. We thought, hey, we both seem like goofballs that will just do something stupid and funny. Like, let's make a show. Yeah. And it's turned into like this little mini community of ours. We have great supporters and fans that pop in every week that we see every week. And they're great in the comments and all these things. And, it's just as we move on to 2022, I expect bigger and better things from us here on this show and at Love Wrestling. It's going to be a big year for everybody. Yeah, man. I just wanted to say that before, we plug our stuff and get the hell out of here. But
thank you to Astrid, former guest of the show.
Oh yeah.
For me, on that point, like I remember when we started this thing, I remember the first show, I was nervous as hell, right? Because like, here's the idea, here's what we're gonna do.
We appreciate you too, man.
Let's go with it. Turnbuckle, we love you guys so much. And we just decided to go, and it was humbling and awesome to see how many people have like connected with this and wanted to be a part of this. And you can spend your Thursday night with anybody, but you choose to spend it with us. And we love you and we appreciate you. From all of our guests that we've had on, from Alex Kane that we mentioned earlier, Phil Lindsay, Astrid, Ella J, Spencer, Josh coming on weekly has been awesome and a lot of fun. To our first producer, Mighty Joe, who gave us a lot of great tips early on. We appreciate you. And to our current producer, Alex, please come on. I wanted to jump on and dance. Do it.
Wait, dance?
No, I just want.
You forcing him to dance?
Wanted him to come on the street without him behind the scenes helping run this ship, and all those awesome clips that you see on our social medias. Without Alex, we wouldn't be doing the things that we're doing. So we appreciate you, buddy. Wanted you to know that. Want you to come on air, get a face behind the glass. He's always doing this, yelling at us with his hands. But, and without Spencer taking a shot on all three of us, who knows where we'd be. So as much as we rag on Spencer, thanks, boss. We appreciate it. Hopefully he'll let us come back next week.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so that pretty much sums it up for us. Stay tuned to Love Wrestling. We are showing Change the Game this weekend. Is it on the 1st or is it on New Year's Eve?
It's on the 1st.
First, right? Yeah. So Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right on this channel. Change the Game, the Love Wrestling event that we ran up in Canada. I've been looking forward to seeing
with Spencer talking about.
Yeah, we had a show with Spencer on here promoting it. Go back and find that one. He talked about the card. That's going to be on here Saturday night. I'm finally excited to see it. We're going to have a react show. I don't know if for day 1, I believe we're working on something there. You'll see us next week back to 8:30 for our first 2022 episode. But yeah, man, if you don't already subscribe or thumbs up or like Love Wrestling, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on B2 Beards at B2 Beards on Twitter. We are on TikTok at B2 Beards as well.
And Facebook.
So give us some love, give us a like, give Love Wrestling a like, a love, all of it. We have a great group of people that are very talented, and more importantly, they're really good people. Even Ed.
You, Ed.
Even Ed. Really, really good people. But yeah, on that note, we're going to stop being sappy and we're going to get out of here. We appreciate all of you that come here every weekend. Like, you mean a lot to us. We wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. So we appreciate you, Alex. We appreciate you, Pluggo. Even you, I appreciate. So it's been a good year. Next year will be a bigger and better one. And until then, I speak for Alex. I speak for Pluggo. We'll see you next year. Peace out.